takes his seat and perhaps make some consequential orders as whether or not they can continue to take these seats that they've claimed is theirs. Up until the Speaker of Parliament makes a declaration otherwise, whether or not the backbench will ask them to go back to being minority, we'll see in the next 2 hours at 10 o'clock when Parliament is expected to sit.
Kweku Asante, thank you for the yeoman's job you're doing in Parliament, the makeshift Parliament, and we are also live on Joy 99.7 FM, bringing you scenes, Parliament House as we know it. And if you just tuned in that makeshift parliamentary chamber, you have both members from the NDC and the MPP. First, it was Frank Anodompre who took the seat, the black seat that the majority leader would sit on. And then the NDC MPs also came in. They have more numbers in the chamber currently compared to the MPP. But everybody, NDC and MPP, they are mixed up on the majority side. There's nobody sitting on the minority side. So I guess today, for the first time, we may have two majority sides in Parliament. But let us bring in our guests on this conversation. Sweetie, I see you smiling.
Yes, it's interesting that there's no resistance at all coming from the NPP side. And I think it makes reasonable sense because they're the NDC. But let's bring our guests on and see what they have to say about all this.
Well, we have Dr. Kwame Asah-Asante. He is a political scientist. He is also head of the center, director of the Center for European Studies at the University of Ghana. Doc, good morning.
Good morning, Ben, and good morning to you, Sweetie, and our viewers.
All right, let's go straight down to it. I'm sure you're watching TV, or at least you've caught some of the action this morning. What is your take so far?
You see Dr. Kwame Asah-Asante smiling already.
What is your take so far?
It's an interesting development. I hope and pray that whatever grievances that they have, they will be able to, allow cool heads to prevail. And that at the end of the day, we will have one Ghana, one parliament, and one democracy. I am not oblivious of the fact that there are problems with our democracy, but problems are meant to be fixed. So in all these things, I think messages or signals have been sent to various quarters. And I believe that key actors within this political space that are very, very, very soldier on. It is my hope and prayer that going forward, we'll be able to right the wrongs, we'll be able to set the rules of the game right, and then also inculcate in our people the sense of responsibility and the rest of them. I think this is what I can say for starters.
Okay, so just a few quick thoughts. Accusations have been traded about who came earlier and why someone entered the chamber and what this side was there that early for or what that side was there that early for. It also appears that there's not going to be the giving of any inch of space as far as the two sides are concerned, because like I said, they're both massed up at the makeshift, chamber on the majority side. It could be a recipe for, for now they are calm, but we've seen our parliamentarians do some gymnastics. You wonder whether they were trained in any martial arts. There's also the bit about supporters of the MPP clad in party colors showing up in the same vicinity, in buses, in droves, hundreds of them. What would be your reaction to these developments?
Yeah, that is what I also am worried about. Let's take, for instance, in Parliament, I can see what I know to be the minority seat being abandoned. All right. So it tells you that the statement we heard from the NDC that they will occupy the majority seats has come to pass. And then by this, I also see that when the NPP also, I don't know whether they are in already, they will also be at the majority seat. And this is where it gets murkier if we don't have who has. But one thing that I know for sure in Parliament that we have seen in other jurisdictions where sometimes there is also, accusations and then sometimes even fisticuffs in extreme circumstances. We've seen that in Kenya and the rest of them. And our Parliament has given us, a little bit of it when we saw the election of the Speaker and the matters arising there. That said, I want to believe that to come to the area, if we don't take care and handle the situation there, and then NDC also bring their supporters, you are likely to have a confrontation. And I trust in our security because yesterday I read a statement from Parliament about the security arrangement and all that. And being a former reporter of Parliament, I always know that in matters of this nature, Parliament is firm and they want to leave no stone unturned. And I also know that in matters of this nature, the police, what I've seen over the years, they've been professional, calm, but they are firm. So I want them to not to disappoint me and disappoint Ghanaians, so that at the end of the day, whatever difference they have, they will be able to settle it and then allow us to have, continue to have the meaningful democracy that we'll have. It is a prayer, but I think that as we are speaking, they are also listening and listening with rapt attention, and that they want to give Ghanaians what we deserve by making sure that this democracy survives and survive forever.
Doc, we'll go to Mr. George-Amoh in a bit, but I want to find out from you, are the NDC MPs doing anything wrong by occupying the seats that are reserved for the majority in Parliament? Are they doing anything wrong right now?
What a question. That's $1 million question. Because that is the bone of the contention. The Supreme Court has ruled on this matter, saying that hold it, and then we will decide. When I say we, know me, the Supreme Court, on the matter. But in the interim, stay your action. The NDC saying that has not been communicated to them and to Parliament. But this morning I heard that every communication has been given to Parliament, and that is what is the situation now. If I listen to a bit from Mr. Ayariga, who said that yes, they take instructions directly from the Speaker, who is the leader of the House, and that as far as they are concerned, they have never been informed by the Speaker about any change. So the status quo, as the ruling of the Speaker, is what is going to stand, and that is where the beef is. We want to give ourselves time and see as the Speaker comes in and what the situation will be. Who knows? The Speaker is going to make a statement that will, uphold the decision of the Supreme Court,
okay, or
we are going to see something different. I think it's a matter of time. We need to wait and see what happens.
Thank you
but
so
I have,
much,
as I've always said, it's my hope and prayer that in all these things we remember that we are fighting for nothing but for democracy. And if it's for democracy, then we know the basis of every democratic rule is the people. All right, demos.
All right, Doc.
The people, the people's rule.
Thank you. Let's bring in Mr. George-Amoh. He's the Executive Secretary for the National Peace Council into the conversation. Many thanks for your time, sir, on the AM show. Now, there's been a number of elements that don't augur well for this make or break parliamentary seating this morning. We have reports of people who've been bussed to the premises near where Parliament is currently sitting in party colours. Allegations of people or the security allowing NPP parliamentarians to enter the chamber earlier this morning, even though security was not supposed to do that, and so many other things coming out right now. How does all of this sit with you in this make or break, like we are describing it, parliamentary seating that is happening right now as we speak?
All right. Good morning. Look, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Amo.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good to see you. It's been a while.
Good to see you, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I think that at some points in any democratic life of a country, tests like what we are seeing will come. It shouldn't be strange. However, I think this test has to be passed. And I am confident that the country would pass this test. So it is not unusual, though unwanted, but I think that after today, I'm sure Speaker will come and settle the matter once, and we can move on as a country. So I would also want us to look at this from the positive side. If we're able to overcome, we have put one block on what is existing. We are making our path clearer. So I am confident that we will choose the path of peace instead of the path of chaos.
Mr. Amo, what's inspiring this confidence?
Mr.
Amo, what is inspiring this confidence that you have? What will it take? As we speak, both NDC MPs and NPP MPs have occupied the parts in Parliament reserved for majority. What would it take for us to steer this tide? This confidence for a peaceful outcome?
We are having some conversations behind the scenes, as we normally do. I think the signals are positive, and that is what gives me hope.
Please share some more details with us. What's exactly happening?
You see, when you engage somebody and the words are in consonance with the body language, then you can have a signal. And from the conversations we have had, indeed, with some key actors in leadership of Parliament, I think reason would prevail over the ego. So let us give ourselves some time. I'm sure when the Speaker sits in the chair this morning, things will be restored, and we will have our Parliament that we have known it to be, a peaceful one. So that's what I would say.
You've engaged some leadership or members of the leadership of Parliament?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
And we are still doing that.
Thank you. Benjamin.
Before I spoke with you, I was in touch with some of them.
Okay. Thank you. So the National Peace Council says they are engaging leadership of Parliament. So hopefully the day will end without chaos. Benjamin will bring in our next guest.
But before I get to Dr. Rashid Rahman, it's good to have you. But Mr. Amo, just quick thoughts. You say you're hoping that ego will be set aside and that reason, what is reasonable, will take place. From where you sit, what will be reasonable?
Ben, you are pushing me, but
yes, because both sides in Parliament think their stance is reasonable. So I'm asking you, what do you think is reasonable?
Yes, you see, the Speaker would have to make a statement on what is happening, and I'm confident that statement would be reasonable.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, the statement. You let's wait for the Speaker to sit. This Speaker will not lead this Parliament to chaos. He will not. And I'm very confident